What is up, everyone? How are you doing on this Tuesday, January 5th, 2021? My name is Matt Binder, and this is a very, very special episode of Doomed. On today's show, we will be live covering what's going on right now in Georgia. Today was the big Senate runoff elections in Georgia, which frankly, when you just hear that, if you don't know too much about the dynamics of what that all means, you might hear that and go, Georgia. I mean, you shouldn't do that to begin with, but you might go, 2 Senate seats in Georgia. What's that really mean? Well, it means everything. This was literally a night that will determine, well, it still is. This is a night that will determine whether Democrats or Republicans basically have a say in what goes on in this country for, I don't know, at least till 2022, the next midterm election, right? What we have right now basically is a Senate that, we have Joe Biden coming in January 20th. Of course, if Vice President Pence doesn't throw out the electors tomorrow on January 6th like so many Trump supporters are hoping for. But what we have is January 20th, Joe Biden becomes president. We have a House that is still Democratic majority, not as many as previously. They lost some seats in the 2020 elections, but they still have the majority. And then right now you have a Senate that basically is, right now it's 52-48. And with this election, you basically will have a Senate that's 50-50 split down the middle, which means Vice President-elect Kamala Harris would be the deciding vote, which essentially means that the Democratic majority, as long as the Democrats can hold the line and get all their senators, including the 2 independents, Bernie and King, to vote with them. Bernie and King aren't going to really be the problem. It's going to be the mansions of the Senate. And that's what made tonight's election, this runoff election, so important. And why was there a runoff election? Well, that's because there was no candidate in the 2020 election that got more than 50% of the vote. So what happens is the top 2 candidates who got the most votes then go one-on-one, mano a mano, in a special runoff election. And that's basically what we are seeing today, right now. I have, as you can see on the stream, if you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/MattBinder, I have the feed of the YouTube, well, really all the chats, whether you're chatting on YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Facebook. I'm streaming on all platforms right there on the screen there. I don't know if it'll follow actually if I scroll through it. Let me see. I don't think it will, but you guys can read on the screen if you want, and I'll read some of the chats too as the night goes on. Basically, what it's looking like right now, and I started the stream a little bit late because I wanted to see how the night progressed, how everything was going on, and I should actually share the feed on Twitter now because I'm currently not doing that. The Periscope tweets automatically. I need to set up something so the YouTube feed tweets out automatically. But, I'll get that set up, and I'm going to tweet it out right now. Join me live now to discuss tonight's Senate runoff elections in Georgia. And here we go. I know there's a number of other feeds on the schedule tonight from other channels, so I appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. I know it's difficult. So many of your faves currently streaming. So I appreciate you guys picking me for those of you who have. And I'm gonna actually bring up a feed behind me so you guys can see where we are. I'm not gonna keep this up there the whole night, but right now, according to CNN, Kelly Loeffler, the Republican incumbent, is ahead of Raphael Warnock, the Democratic candidate, and Perdue, the Republican incumbent, is currently running ahead of Ossoff, the Democratic challenger, I should say. And I called earlier on Twitter, and for that very reason, you'll see, I'll explain why it's looking good for Democrats, because of the Cobb County right there. One of the reasons. I called earlier on Twitter. I explained, for those of you who followed the Matt Binder election coverage saga, you will remember how last election, November 3rd, 2020, I had a nearly perfect map, to the point where people were heralding my map. They were heralding me as Map Binder. I received an award from the Letter Hacks Leftist Awards as Best Electoral Map. Shout out to Letterhack, who constantly creates some of the greatest cartoons showcasing your favorite leftist personalities. But I put together a nearly perfect map. I got every state, including the Maine and Nebraska electoral votes that could decide separate from the state. I got everything right except one, Georgia. So I looked at tonight as sort of my revenge, my ultimate comeback. If I could get Georgia's Senate runoffs correct, if I could call tonight's election, then maybe, just maybe, I have redeemed myself for what happened in November 2020 when I was ashamed. I was both shamed and ashamed. I called Warnock and Ossoff, and this was about an hour before the polls closed at 7 p.m. Nothing wrong with doing that. I don't get people who are like, oh, you called it months ago. Months ago, anything could change months ago. I'm telling you who's going to win on the day of the election. I'm not telling you who's going to win if the vote happened in December 2020, December 1st, 2020. I'm telling you what's going to happen if the vote happened on January 5th, 2020, which is when the vote is. And yeah, I know a lot of early votes, but not the same, because in-person voting can really change things. As you saw when all those early votes came in and the Democrats got this huge lead up top, Warnock and Ossoff were like 58% at the beginning of the counts, as it was going like 10%, 20%. And then as it hit 30, 40%, it started to even out. And now you got Loeffler and Perdue in the lead in the votes that have come in. However, where is that? I'm going to pull this tweet up. I know you're not going to see it on the screen right now. But Dave Wasserman of Redistrict, who's like 99.999% of the time accurate when he makes these calls, he has done the call for at least one of these races. You know, the I've seen enough call. And he says that Warnock has defeated Loeffler based on what he's seen. And how is he able to make that call? You have, of course, the MAGA people who are going to see that, and they're going to say, oh, they're making this call because the media and the Democrats are in cahoots with each other, and they're obviously working together to make sure that's what happens, regardless of the fact that that's not the current results. And even though Loeffler and Perdue are currently in the lead on the with the votes that have been counted already, which clearly to them means that that's what's going to happen. That's the end result. Stop the count. Stop the count. What was that Trump said when he was in the lead in the states where he was in the lead in the states he was in the lead? Excuse me. He was going stop the count. Stop the count. In the states where he was losing, he was going keep on counting. Right. So basically, what someone like Wasserman of Redistrict is able to do is they're able to see what is still out. Where is this vote that still has yet to be counted? And basically, what happens here is you have counties like DeKalb who are Democratic, voting Democratic here. Where was the last count for DeKalb? I don't have that on my screen. CNN's currently at commercial. They were just there. But basically, you have counties like DeKalb County who are voting Democratic by large margins. And Democrats basically have to keep those margins around that big to win based on the amount of the vote that's still out in the state as a whole and also in the counties that are voting Democratic in larger numbers. And once you do the math there, you can pretty much predict fairly accurately who is going to come out the winner of this election. And the Ossoff-Perdue race is still tight enough where I don't think that anyone has called that. Wasserman's usually the first to call this sort of stuff. Everyone loves when he says that line, "I've seen enough." That's his little trademark here. Funny enough, Twitter hit him with a multiple sources have not called the race when this was tweeted warning label, which I guess Redistrict is not one of their official election result partners. But he is legit. So this isn't the usual warning label that shows up. What is he saying now about Perdue and Ossoff? All right. Right now, Perdue is leading. This is according to Dave Wasserman of Redistrict. So right now, Perdue is leading by 115,000 votes. But he's got only a few small pockets of votes still out. Excuse me if I completely mispronounce these places. Bartow, Columbia, Dodge, Forsyth, etc. Meanwhile, Ossoff has a lot of great turf left. DeKalb, Cobb, interesting. DeKalb, Cobb, Chatham, Chatham, I'm assuming is another place, and then Henry, and I'm assuming De Henry is another place, and a little bit in Fulton and Gwinnett, which again I assume there's a De Fulton and De Gwinnett. Every place I added a de to except for DeKalb is made up, just to be completely clear here. But Warnock is a lock to win. Warnock outperformed Ossoff, which really is no surprise. Warnock is by far the better candidate, in my opinion. Maybe I'm a little surprised that the majority of Democrats or people who voted Democrat, in Georgia, agreed. But no, he was a really good candidate, and he ran a good campaign. He took a really brutal attack. Really, it was a brutal campaign against him. The attacks from Loeffler were by far much worse than anything Ossoff took from Perdue. Loeffler was gross, honestly. The attacks were very racist, very conspiratorial. As you know, Loeffler did some campaigning with a legit known white supremacist, and also dabbled in QAnon conspiracy theories. She literally campaigned with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is probably the biggest QAnon supporter in Congress, easily the biggest QAnon supporter in Congress, but one of two who've had a history of supporting QAnon. Both, I should add, were voted into the House this past November. They were just sworn in this past weekend. So it's unclear if Democrats right now are going to win both races, but I said they would in my prediction, so I think they will. Will they? Well, by the time you're listening to this, dear podcast listener or replay of the YouTube stream listener, I don't know. By the way, you can support this show. I'll get in some promos right now while we're waiting for some more results to come flying through. You can support this show by going to patreon.com/MattBinder. If you cannot afford to do so, times are tough. I know. I've just had the biggest loss of patrons in the entire history of this show. We were getting close to we were inching ever closer and closer to 200 patrons, which is the next goal. I got to make that official on the Patreon, by the way. But that's the next goal, as I've vocalized on this show a few times before in the past couple weeks. We lost like a dozen patrons, maybe even a little bit more, and we've dipped below 150, and that's hard to see. It's a little bit not depressing because it's not that bad, but I'm having a mental block. It's a little bit but I totally get it. A lot of people said they needed to drop it right now, and they hope to be back soon. Totally get it. So if you can afford to do so, patreon.com/MattBinder. If you would like to drop a super chat, you could do that at youtube.com/MattBinder. That's a way to give a one-off donation. Samantha Sider just dropped a super chat. Drunk and high as fuck right now. Feeling like when Bernie won Nevada. Well, this is a little bit different because if Ossoff and Warnock both win, then there is no next stage. They are demoralizing. Thank you, Brian. That's exactly the word I was looking for. Depressing is a little bit too strong. Depressing is reserved for something much worse. A little bit demoralizing. Exactly. But if they win, that's it. There's no next stage. They are in the Senate. We have a prediction from a gentleman with the Economist, who is a data journalist for The Economist, G. Elliott Morris. Folks, it's over. We have enough returns to project that both Raphael Warnock and Jon Ossoff will win their Senate runoffs in Georgia, giving Democrats control of the U.S. Senate. And just to let you know how early these calls are, this is what CNN is saying. Loeffler still in the lead with nearly 2 million votes. Same with Perdue with even closer to 2 million votes. 51.1% for Loeffler with Warnock at 48.9% and Perdue at 51.5% and Ossoff at 48.5%. So again, Ossoff running behind Warnock, but what we have right now is enough vote out in counties that are voting high turnout for Democrats that they are able to predict with fairly good certainty if they're announcing these results, especially being that they're coming from legit organizations who, don't take these calls lightly. But again, they could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. Dog-faced Pony Soldier on Twitch asks, what are your opinions on how this result, along with the announcement of Kyle Rittenhouse and Jacob Blake's case, will have on Stop the Steal rally tomorrow. It will have none of what you said from Rittenhouse. What was it? Rittenhouse said he put in a plea of not guilty, right? And they decided not to charge the cops in the Jacob Blake shooting case, right? Police shooting, I should add. And the results here, we'll see what happens. It will have no bearing on Stop the Steal tomorrow because you have to understand what's going on here. The reason Loeffler and Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue are going to lose, if that is indeed what happens based on these predictions, it's because Donald Trump told his supporters, and again, remember, the Republican Party is now the party of Donald Trump. That's it. Plain and simple. Anyone who thought there was a chance that when Donald Trump is out of office, something different's going to happen here, this is it. This is what we're going to see. I just moved my desk. I'm sorry. Hope I didn't screw anything up here. Give me 1 second. I just messed up the, oh, well, no big deal. There we go. I'm back in the, I'm right back where I was supposed to be. So the reason that they're most likely lost, I mean, not to knock the Warnock and Ossoff campaigns, but Trump basically told his supporters, who are now the majority of the Republican Party base, don't trust these elections, especially not in Georgia, where I lost due to election fraud because it's all rigged. And the Georgia's Secretary of State and, the governor of Georgia, both Republicans have it out for me, and they're going to make sure elections are rigged, and they have it out for me, and they don't want me to win. This is all ridiculous. And the Dominion voting systems, you can't trust the voting machines run by Dominion because of all the QAnon conspiracy theories that have spread on 8kun and on the Donald Wynn forum and on Parler and MeWe and Gab and everywhere else. Conservatives and MAGA and the far right have gone to basically hide in their own holes, plug their ears, and just go la 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 for the past few months as everyone tells them that Trump lost. He has convinced them not to vote in this election, which is why it was such a big deal for him to go out to that rally last night. One of the reasons I covered, for the people who don't know, and I didn't post either of these shows on the Patreon. I totally forgot. I got to let people know. But, you should be subscribed to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/MattBinder, B, the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MattBinder, and C, following me on Twitter, where all this stuff goes out in real time, at Matt Binder, and you would know when I go live from now on, because I'm not always going to, sometimes I'm just going to see an opportunity, I'm just going to do it. I mean, we're the first weekend of 2021, and I've already streamed twice. It's Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday, both days I've streamed. So I'm telling you, we're about to ramp up stuff here. Patreon.com/MattBinder, help support the show and help me want to continue ramping it up. I'm thinking of even doing a show tomorrow because of the Stop the Steal rally. But back to the Stop the Steal rally. So he's basically told them that nothing matters but numero uno, Donald Trump. So Stop the Steal tomorrow is all of these people who are in D.C., these people who rented hotel rooms in D.C., who are coming from all over the country. I've seen it. It's going to be a pretty big crowd. They've already held a rally today for 8 hours that went into the night, and I have a clip from that to show later if we have time, if we need some filler, if we don't know who's going to win, or if the results come in and we know who's going to win. I'm not sure what's going to happen yet. But what's happening here is, let me rewind. They're all in D.C. All these people, I think there's a couple thousand people in D.C. If they actually cared about political power and Republicans winning, Trump's party winning, and Trump still being a shadow president in some way and controlling the Republican Party in a way which they would still have power, then they would have all went down to Georgia and begun canvassing. Why wouldn't they? They're conservatives, far right wing figures, MAGA. They don't believe in COVID-19. That's a hoax to them, so they don't care about that. They could have gone down to Georgia, hit the streets, and canvassed for Loeffler and Perdue, but they didn't. They went to D.C. for a pointless rally for Donald Trump because that's who it's all about. The Stop the Steal rally will be 100% all about Trump, and it will be undisturbed. You will rain or shine. That will be undisturbed programming no matter what happens. It is all about Donald Trump tomorrow, no matter what happens. Kyle Rittenhouse doesn't matter. The Jacob Blake case doesn't matter to them. Tonight, which basically if Ossoff and Warnock pull it off, removes Republicans from all notches of power. The White House, the executive branch, and both branches in Congress, the House and the Senate, they are done with, again, there's still corporate Dems to contend with, but that's a little bit, I still think that's a little bit different. Manchin, maybe not so different, but, still, he's still got the D on next to his name in terms of why people vote for him. He would likely, in my opinion, lose if he became a Republican. So he needs that weird West Virginian coalition he has, I think, of Democrats and Republicans who like him. In a Republican primary, I think he would lose, to be quite frank. So, yeah, tomorrow is all about Donald Trump at that Stop the Steal rally. Drug Enforcement Administration on YouTube says, bruh, how is Loeffler even winning? Well, she's not. Technically she is, but she's not. Ryan says, Matt, why are you stepping on Daddy Sam's toes? Right. Sam Cedar of the Majority Report, who I'm on Thursday with. I'm not on with Cedar, but I'm on Majority Report with the rest of the crew. He's streaming right now, which is not surprising. But what am I supposed to do? I can't not stream. I know he's got a lot more people watching his feed than are watching mine by quite a lot. But, it is what it is. I have to, someone just dropped him a $50 super chat. But it is what it is. And, he's had this channel for 10 years. I've had mine for 2. Anyway, let's go back to the results and see. And I'll read some more of these. Let's see what Twitter CNN's at a commercial right now. Dog-faced pony soldier with a follow-up question. If you would indulge me at Matt Binder, this is from Twitch. If it looks like Perdue and or Loeffler lose, do you think that will affect whether or not they vote to block the election certification? No. They're going to vote anyway. It doesn't matter to them. Truly, it doesn't matter to them. So what they're going to do is they're going to think about their future, maybe, if they want to have a future, and vote for and contest the results for Trump. Of course. If they win, obviously, then announcing they were going to do that didn't cost them anything politically. So, of course, they'll do that. Oh, Grim says Perdue can't vote if he loses. Is that because he's quarantined, right? Because, right. Right. It is what it is. So, yeah. We got some trolls in the chat, which I'm fine with, as long as they don't, you know, ruin anyone else's time. You're allowed to say in my chat if you really want to, troll. Uh, you're allowed to say Antifa for jail. I don't agree. Trump 2020. 2020's passed and he lost. Beijing Biden for jail. Again, I don't agree, but it is what it is. Oh, is the majority report streaming done? If you could, someone jump in there and tell them to come watch this one. 11,000 people watching. Are they finished, or are you just choosing to drop them? Someone monitor the majority report stream and let them know. Obviously, don't leave this one. Have it open in a separate window, and let them know in the chat to come here when Sam's done, because I will very likely be going later than Sam. I'll probably go for at least another hour. Maybe I'll take it to midnight probably. And I think Sam said he was going to end, around 11? He probably will stay on a little bit longer, but Emma just dropped, right? Emma's gone, right? So I bet they're not going to go for too much longer. I'm not trying to compete with Sam. I'm just trying to grab his your people are going to watch that over mine, obviously, but I'm trying to grab those viewers the second his is done. So someone let them know when Sam's done. Okay, so back to so CNN is back on. I'm worried about getting I don't want any issues with the stream, but let me see what I can show here. They're talking to the Georgia voting system implementation manager right now. He, earlier when they were talking to him, he blamed Trump on the air with CNN. This guy blamed Trump, and he's a Republican, I believe, as well. I mean, this is, he blamed Trump, saying if Ossoff and Warnock win, if Loeffler and Perdue lose, then it's without a doubt Trump's fault for calling into question the accuracy of the election results in the presidential election, and for telling people basically don't trust the voting system. And when you can't trust the voting system, why are you going to take the time to vote if you think your vote's just going to not count or be thrown out? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to let people know. People are saying that Sam's almost, I'm going to monitor Sam as well. I'm going to have this open on my screen here. Where is this? I'm going to keep this open. The second that feed is over, I'm jumping in there and I'm letting people know. I have so much going on. I have a screen over here. I have a second screen showing while we're watching CNN. I got MR on my I got to get that second camera here so you guys can see. I got MR on my phone here. Someone's pointing out the guy from Georgia. Let me take this down. I've had the feed up for a little bit too long. Someone pointed out the guy in Georgia who they're talking to, the Georgia Voting Systems Implementation Manager, is wearing a Confederate flag face mask. I don't think, is that the Confederate flag? No, I think that's the state flag, I think, which is looks close to the Confederate flag, but I don't think it's the same thing. Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me put it back up on the feed for 1 second there. Yeah, it is based on the official flag of the Confederacy, says Zoe. But yeah, it's not. I mean, when that's your state flag and you want to show, your state flag, what could you do? So let me get to. All All right, I'm gonna have to drop the chat here for a second. What do you guys think of the chat in the screen here? I probably wouldn't do it on every show. This wouldn't work for an interview show. I'm not gonna have a guest on next to the chat, but for the purpose of me and you guys, there's these one-on-one election night coverage things. I think the chat works. All right, so let's go over to this clip I pulled. And I was mentioning before how, let me just get us back to over, where is this? Let me just, if I drop the widget, then the feed here, bloop. Okay, so I want to play this clip that I pulled. And I just hit something here. 1 second. Okay, I want to play this clip over here without this new mic. I got to get used to it. But that's why I sound so good, because this new mic is really good. But so I want to play this clip that sort of, I think, personally, explains a little bit of why Loeffler is doing so badly. I think she ran a really nasty campaign against Warnock, which is not surprising. But, Purdue didn't really have Purdue and Ossoff's, Purdue couldn't really run a racist attack against Ossoff in his race. But Loeffler ran, in my opinion, a very racist campaign against Warnock. And here is a clip from this past weekend, which discusses, which brings up what I brought up earlier about her dipping her toes, I should say, into the conspiratorial world of, the Marjorie Taylor Greenes and the other QAnon folks. Let me play this clip. Let me pull this up. This is from a rally for Loeffler from this past weekend. Let me cue it up here and listen to what she has to say.
That's wrong. We have to stand up for our military because he would help Chuck Schumer defund our military. I'm the daughter and granddaughter of veterans. I serve on the Veterans Affairs Committee. I'm honored to serve those who serve us. I say God bless our veterans and our men and women in the military. Thank you. Thank you for what you do. But there's more. It's not just radical policies. It's dangerous candidates. Raphael Warnock has been involved in child abuse, domestic abuse. He's hiding out. He won't answer those questions. And
so someone yells, "Lock him up!" after Loeffler brings up that Warnock. Let me actually replay exactly what she said for you all.
But there's more. It's not just radical policies. It's dangerous candidates. Raphael Warnock has been involved in child abuse, domestic abuse.
Been involved. I forgot exactly what she said, so I want to rewind it to hear that again. Been involved in child abuse and domestic abuse. Now, that is untrue. And this is something that's been fact-checked. Warnock, let me pull it up right now, actually. This has been fact-checked by PolitiFact. This is just, here's CNN even fact-checking it with their facts first. He was not involved in child abuse. The claim, the actual claim that's been leveled previously at Warnock and other attacks before Kelly Loeffler claimed that he was involved in child abuse, two different things, was that he was arrested for obstructing a child abuse investigation. That's two very different things. Loeffler, in her last weekend of campaigning, going full Q pretty much, digging her heels in the child abuse claim by making the original claim of obstructing a child abuse investigation even further by saying he was involved in child abuse. getting those QAnon people real riled up. I'm sure. I'm really sure that was the play there, because you know how they are obsessed with this idea that there is some sort of Democratic and Hollywood elite run child pedophile ring, run by Satanists. It's just, the Save the Children campaign that's gone viral, really globally. That's just based on lies about these non-existent child trafficking rings, when, by the way, child trafficking rings do exist, and these guys don't care about the actual real ones. And organizations that have been fighting child trafficking for years and decades have come out and said that these Save the Children and QAnon fanatics do not do anything to help their work. In fact, they actively harm their work. But, that was her play there. But the claim here is, and can I pull this up on the screen? Let me see. This is... where'd this come up? This is an ad on CNN that just popped up. Goodbye. So what we got here is... Let me zoom in a bit so you can see this. Was Warnock arrested for obstructing a child abuse investigation? The claim: during part of the debate where the candidates were allowed to ask each other questions, Loeffler claimed that Warnock was arrested for obstructing police in a child abuse investigation. And here's the context. Media reports from 2002 show Warnock was indeed arrested, but a judge ultimately dropped the charge after a prosecutor clarified there had been some miscommunication. The truth is, he was protecting the rights of young people to make sure they had a lawyer or a parent when being questioned. Law enforcement officials later praised him for his help in the investigation. And that's the truth. So this whole claim here, this ridiculousness that he, A, was obstructing a child abuse investigation, and then B, the further claim that he was directly involved in child abuse, which Loeffler said this past Sunday, is complete and utter bullshit. Come on. It's just ridiculous. And I think, that's why Loeffler's running behind Purdue, quite frankly. I think people didn't like her whole shtick, to be fair. Man, YouTube really needs the raid button, don't they, that Twitch has. Unless we got people joining in from the Twitch, too. We got, let's get all the, whoa, we jumped, didn't we? Cool. Welcome, everyone from MR who is joining the stream here. I'm going to be going for a while longer. So if you're joining for the first time, welcome. Subscribe at youtube.com/MattBinder. Also, if you'd like, patreon.com/MattBinder to support this show. A quick update. Last night, I did a live stream of Trump's Georgia rally. His final rally as president. You can catch that at the YouTube page. Right now, I'm doing this live Senate runoff election results feed. This will be the podcast, the Doomed podcast. Last night's rally was just a fun little live stream, but tonight's show is the podcast. So if you can't catch this and you want this on a commute tomorrow, you can go to doomedpod.com tonight after it's up and download it and consume that episode as a podcast. And I will likely do a stream tomorrow night for the Stop the Steal rally, because it is looking to be quite the event tomorrow. So let me pull up the if you're wondering why I'm off screen, off center here, I had earlier pulled the chat up on here. Let's get that back up on the feed here. The chat is ready to display messages. Why, thank you, Restream. So hello, everybody. Of course, you can drop a YouTube super chat. Again, youtube.com/MattBinder if you'd like to give a one-off donation to this show. Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, we got a lot of new people here. I'm quite thrilled. Thank you guys for tuning in. In fact, I'm gonna retweet the tweet I tweeted out earlier about the stream. So let me quickly bring up the CNN feed here to bring up. Well, that's not it. You guys caught me retweeting the YouTube. Here we go. Okay, here's the CNN feed. Oh, Josh with the super chat. Super chats will be read 100%. And if you want to drop non-super chat questions, I might be able to get to them, but super chats guaranteed to read. Hey, Matt. Josh says with a super chat, hey, Matt, you rock. I called in during your general election stream. Just wanted to say keep up the good work. Thank you, Josh. Calls, though. You just made me think of calls. Maybe I'll open up Skype and we'll do some calls. But let me see what's going on here first on the stream for the CNN feed. So CNN still says that Loeffler and Perdue were in the lead. And you know what? This might be one of those cases where we do not know tonight who is going to win officially. The night might end. Where's the what are we at? I'm gonna have to lean further into my screen here. 1 second. 91% of the vote here. We got 91% of the vote in. And it's getting to the point where, just quite frankly, there might not be a winner tonight, an official winner tonight. Even though, and I want to repeat what I read earlier, we have, where was that tweet? We have, 1 second, Dave Wasserman of Redistrict, with his infamous "I've seen enough," he's calling it for Warnock. He says Warnock defeats Loeffler. He usually gets it right. I'm trying to remember when the last time he called it wrong. And what is he saying right now about earlier he said that Ossoff still had a lot of great turf left when compared to Perdue. He is now also saying that Republicans just aren't getting comparable overperformance versus 2020 presidential election anywhere. Perdue Loeffler, and this is again Wasserman of Redistrict, Perdue Loeffler's embrace of Trump in the runoff phase of the Senate may have alienated suburban Biden Republican ticket splitters. And it's not clear it did as much to drive up turnout in deep red rural Georgia. Now, I'll be honest. I don't know how many people that is. I honestly don't know how many of those types exist. However, I do know that there are people who, and I was reading an article in the Times today, actually, and these people exist. Again, I don't know what numbers they're in, but there are people who went out and voted for Joe Biden and then voted in 2020 and then voted for Perdue and Loeffler in this special runoff election in today, 2021. And their reason is they don't want any side, any party to have too much power. So they think by splitting their vote, you got Republicans with 50%, Democrats 50%. They clearly have to work together and come to a compromise that will be fair to everybody. This is such, honestly, I don't want to say optimistic thinking, because it's truly just, maybe this is too harsh, but uneducated thinking. If you were someone who has paid attention to politics for the past few years, even if you just got involved during the Trump era, if Donald Trump, Orange Man Bad, was so mean and nasty, and he was terrible, but that was the one reason you got into politics. You know, Bush's war wasn't a blip on your wars weren't a blip on your radar. Nothing Obama did really made you care. the disgusting Republican racism of the late 2000s to, quite frankly, 2016, the entirety of the Obama regime, I guess you can say. The Obama administration, that was the word I was looking for. If none of that mattered to you, just by watching Trump and the Republicans from 2016 really, if you want, 2016 when Trump was running, to as the general election candidate, to literally right now, what makes you think Republicans are going to do that? What is... you're basically saying by doing that, by splitting your vote, you're not saying you want some sort of compromise that makes everyone happy. First of all, this never happened. Compromise, the idea that compromise makes everyone happy or no one happy is, first of all, it does not make everyone happy. It does make no one happy. And the idea that making no one happy is good is ridiculous. Ridiculous. If one side is saying, I will make sure that everybody is helped and nobody dies, and the other side is saying, 100,000 people are going to die. You want to compromise there? You want to call it down the middle and say, okay, 50,000 people can die. Yeah, I'm not going to go zero. I'm not going to go to 100,000. We'll meet in the middle. 50,000 people die. That's basically what you're saying. I mean, and I usually use that scenario as just an easy way to explain the whole compromise idea. But it actually rings true this time around with COVID. I mean, under a Democratic majority, I'm not saying nobody would have died under COVID. Obviously, it's not possible. But I am pretty sure that a lot less people would have died. Because you would not have had the White House spreading misinformation. The White House literally fighting against states that were trying to take care of its people. You wouldn't have a federal government so against giving people more aid. And I'm not saying Democrats would have done everything. Clearly, the activists would have needed to continue pushing Democrats for more. But Democrats would have surely, if they were in charge right now, have given more than the Republicans. I mean, I would be absolutely shocked if we don't get the extra $1,200 in stimulus money. I would be shocked. We got a vote dump. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, Warnock pulled ahead. This is it for Warnock, I think. I think he is now done. He is not done. He is now won, I should say. That race is done. Without a doubt in my mind. Ossoff down more than I think is I was hoping, what we got, Warnock up by 20 and Ossoff down by about 18,000, it looks like. Closer to 20,000. 19,000 around. I was hoping that would be within like 10,000, maybe 12,000. I'm worried about that one a little bit, but I still have faith in the what's still out there. What are we at now? 95% of the vote. I think there's enough out there. I think there's enough out there. Wasserman of Redistrict says, with latest DeKalb and Bartow updates, Purdue's lead over Ossoff cut to 20,000. There's still quite a bit of DeKalb left to go, and I explained earlier in the feed before so many of you joined me when the majority poll was still on the air, that DeKalb County is the one to watch. There's going to be a huge swath of votes coming in from there. And also, Democrats are running up those numbers so high in DeKalb that it's going to make a big difference. There's still quite a bit. This is back to what Wasserman of Redistrict is saying. There's still quite a bit of DeKalb left to go, and it ought to be enough to inch Ossoff ahead. It's close. It's close. It's very close. I don't want to miss the super chats. Let's see. Who did I miss here? Hold on. Let me pull this back up. See the super chats. They somehow are not updating on my YouTube feed here of just super chats. But let me pull you guys up now. I'm going to get to the super chats at this very moment. Okay. Samantha Sider with a super chat says, making it rain up in here with that $600 I just got. Oh, you got your stimulus. If you need it, please don't keep giving me super chat money. But if it's just a little bit of extra cash and you're good, by all means, keep dropping that super chat money. Also, Samantha Sider with another super chat says, got to see your election map as a green screen behind you. Oh, you want me to pull up the old 2020 map? Let's see if I could do that. 1 second. And Prairie Fire Kowalski from Nebraska with a super chat. Just a YouTube sticker. What is it, like a robot with a cup of coffee? You give me a cup of coffee. Oh, I thank you, Kowalski. I appreciate that. Very clever way to do such a thing. Yeah, why not? Let me open up the Skype while we wait for some more of these votes coming in. Let's see. Jackson says Chavez is taking his dump on Kemp. But let me log into Skype 1 second here. Bloop, 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 bloop. So what do we got? We have, so Warnock is at 50.2% to Loeffler's 49.8%. I think that race is done. I think it is, that's the ball game right there for Warnock Loeffler. Loeffler's not coming back from that. However, I can't log into my Skype for some reason. 1 second. There we go. All right. So, okay, if you'd like to call into the show. Hold on, I just lost my window here. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. If you'd like to call into the show, go to open Skype and type in Doomed Live. I think it comes up as Doomed Live _1. And you could call into the show right now. I will take your call. We can discuss tonight's race. We can discuss tomorrow's rally. We can discuss whatever you'd like. This is for anyone watching, whether you're watching on Twitch, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on Periscope, Facebook, whatever it is. You can call into the show. I will take your call. I hate that there's that _1 in it. I'm going to make a new username actually to fix that. But feel free to call in. Let's go to JJ says, Matt, you almost nailed the election 100%. Good job. Yeah. Close, but you don't get an award for close. Actually, I did get an award for close. Letter Hack, the brilliant artist who creates great webcomics and cartoons of all your favorite leftist personalities, did give me an award. Best map, I believe. The best election map. So I very literally got an award. Tim Bob Dunn with a super chat. Hey, y'all. I just got home from work. What's all the hubbub? Election stuff, huh? That's right. That's right. Election stuff. We are still waiting for the final results. Ooh, we are now at less than 10,000 between Perdue and Ossoff. Here we go. Another batch of votes just came in. This is totally possible. This is totally doable. Warnock has pulled ahead. He is, what is it? Over 30,000 votes ahead of Loeffler. That's done and over with. Loeffler is out of here. Warnock is the winner. But I don't know about Ossoff. It's very close. We'll see. Let's go back on the feed here and see what's going on. Madison says, say it with me. I'm going to say it with you. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Serp points out that Ossoff winning would be a full 6-year term. That's right. How long would Warnock's term be? And being that he's doing so well, I think Warnock has a good shot of getting reelected, honestly. Ossoff might be the one to worry about in terms of reelection, but 6 years is a long time. Steve says, I won't get my hopes up, Binder. We'll see in the morning. Well, Warnock, in my opinion, is that's it. He won. He has won. The question is Ossoff. That is the question. Let's see. What else do we got here? We got... What are people saying here? The New York Times is giving Warnock and Ossoff and a more than 95% chance winning. It's really close, people. Where I think it's Trump Trump tweeted, looks like they are setting up a big voter dump against the Republican candidates. Waiting to see how many votes they need? MR Sam called both for Dems, says Nominal Times. Hey, I predicted a win for both. Let me pull that. I'm going to pull that tweet up. I want you all to know that I'm right. I'm ahead of the game here. Let me pull this up. Oh, let me get it all up here. Here we go. Let me pull up my tweet. Let me pull this up here. You guys see that? Let me move it over a little bit more. And let me zoom in. There we go. In November, I successfully called the presidential election and had a near perfect electoral map. Minus one state, Georgia. Today, I seek my revenge. This was before a single vote was counted. My prediction, I'm calling the Senate runoff election for Warnock and Ossoff. And here is my map from November. Again, before a single vote was counted in the November elections. November 4th. I predicted, November 3rd, excuse me. And then, when the Wasserman call came in for Warnock, I tweeted that we've seen enough. John Cena. So yeah, I mean, folks, should be no surprise there. No surprise there that I called it, because I am the master of calling these elections. It's just plain and simple, guys. Never doubt me when it comes to this stuff. I am a professional. And I believe it's fair to say I redeemed myself for the Georgia call. Ooh, I got to pull this up. Where is this? Hold on. Whoa, we got double Matt right there on the screen. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Purdue and Ossoff are now, what? Less than 10,000 votes away. What is that? 7,000, around 7,000, 6,000 some odd votes between Purdue and Ossoff. Look at that. That is close. That is a close race. That is a close race. Cloud says, "Did you call anything wrong in the 2020 election?" Yeah, I called Georgia wrong. That was the one I wasn't sure about, actually. That was the one where I just basically I called everything pretty. When I was making that map, I was very confident about it, and then about everything, except Georgia. And I had to make a call one way or another before solidifying my map. And I thought to myself, I don't know if Georgia's there yet. It's going to be close, but I don't think Georgia's there yet. And I was wrong about it. Georgia was there. Not by a lot. So, my questioning it certainly made sense. What was it, 10 to 12? It was like 12,000 votes, right? So, But. Ooh, look at I gotta get it back up on the feed there. Look at that. We are a mere 450 some odd votes between Purdue and Ossoff. I'm gonna keep that on there. I'm going to zoom into that, actually. Can I fix the screen? Can I? Oh, come on. Whoa. I lost the... All right, let me zoom back out. Let me just get it all in there. But you can see... It's close. It is close. We are in a nail biter right now, folks. This is a nail biter between Purdue and Ossoff. This is this is going to be fun to watch right now. I'm going to keep this up there. I don't care if I mean I wish I could zoom into that so I don't have to worry about any stream issues with the feed. But let me go back to it in a minute. I'll be watching it from my side screen here. What's the needle saying? What's the needle? We got the New York Times needle saying. Oh wait, we got. Let's look on this. Someone. Witch Doctor Seuss on Twitter says, Matt, look at this on stream for a laugh. Don't mind if I do. Let's see. Let's pull this up here. Where is that? Okay. Let me pull this up on the stream indeed. Noticing a stark difference. This is from at ad infinitum. Noticing a stark difference between Ossoff and Purdue voters. Let's see. Oh, gotta probably zoom back out. Wait, hold on. Condition of the nation's economy. Purdue voters, 90% say excellent. 8% of Ossoff says excellent. 94% of Ossoff's voters say that the condition of the nation's economy is poor. Only 5% of Purdue's voters say that. That's incredible. Here's another one. The most important issue to your vote. For Ossoff voters, 88% say racial inequality. 86% say the coronavirus. For Purdue, it's 84% of Purdue's voters say the economy. And 74% say crime and safety. Oh, I missed this. And in healthcare policy, 79% of Ossoff voters say that's the most important issue to their vote. That is, we got stark contrasts here, folks. Racism in the U.S. is, Ossoff voters, 77% say the most important problem. 53% say an important problem. However, racism in the U.S. is a minor problem for 87% of Purdue's voters and not a problem at all for 90% of Purdue's voters. And here we go. Ooh, this is a good one. View of Black Lives Matter. 74% of Ossoff voters say favorable. 87% of Purdue's voters unfavorable. What I'm actually shocked about is 24% of Purdue's voters are favorable on Black Lives Matter, which is much more than I thought they'd be. Shows you all the work Black Lives Matter has done over the past year. That is incredible. I got to retweet that one, and it's retweeted. Grimm says no matter who loses, capitalism will win. Well, that's the case. Of anyone, really. Sad. I mean, you could have had an AOC running for Senate in Georgia and winning, and there still would be capitalism. We ain't defeating capitalism with 2 Georgia Senate runoff elections. Grim. What do we got here? We're still whoa. We're tied 50-50 right now between Purdue Ossoff. I think it's what less than about 400 now votes, like 450 votes. Jeez. And see, this is now where now pretty much all early votes have been counted. And what you're seeing coming now is the day of election voting. And when it's this close, it's probably not going to matter for Warnock Loeffler, but for Purdue Ossoff, there's going to be absentee ballots. Ballots that are dropped off today that aren't counted right away. And those ballots will be very important to who ends up winning between Purdue and Ossoff. So, even if Ossoff takes the lead right now tonight, we have to wait, I think, for that race. Unless they find a batch of thousands of votes somewhere, like 10,000 votes somewhere. And I shouldn't say find a batch of 10,000 because that's going to give into conspiracy theorists. A big batch of votes need to come in from an area that puts Ossoff up, I should say, about 10,000 votes, in my opinion, to call it for Ossoff tonight, I think. Jacob with a big super chat. Thank you, Jacob. Matt's cheating. His Google is hooked up to the future. I wish, because I don't think I'd use it for election results. I would probably use it for, I don't know, the lottery, to be honest. I mean, that's what I would do. Jeez. Whoa. Ryan Smith outdoing Jacob here. Jacob dropped a $20 super chat, which I just read. And now we got Ryan with the big old $50 super chat just to say Vale. I don't even know what that means. But thank you so much, Ryan. I really appreciate that. I mean, that's like that's basically almost a year of the Patreon subscription. I really appreciate that, Ryan. A batch just came in for So Purdue just extended his lead by about 3,000, which it could happen. It's let's see what happens here. We'll have to see what happens here. It's still 50-50 here between the two of them. What's Trump saying? Let's see. Honestly, with the super chat, let me tell you guys something. I forgot to mention it earlier. So while we have some time here, because this is also part of the podcast, going long, this is going to be the whole podcast today. Oh shit! What did I do? Oh man, what did I do? I hit the wrong button. I gotta lock this over here. Where is this? I gotta figure out how to lock this over here. My bad. So I went muted for a minute as I was talking about what a great microphone this is. That's really funny. That's really funny. That is really funny. What a great microphone, right? No, but it's really good. Where did I lose you guys? Could someone tell me where the last thing you heard was? Oh my god, that's this is really funny. This is really funny. I was literally talking up how great this microphone is, and I hit the this folks. These foam panels are so good that when I held it up to you, you couldn't hear me. I completely the soundproofing. Look, ready? You hear me right now, right? You hear me right now? Look, ready? I'm gonna hold it in front of the screen. Soundproofing is off now. Soundproofing is off. Soundproofing off. This is so stupid. This is so dumb. We are hitting midnight now. We are hitting midnight. So we could get a little bit stupid and silly here. This is what happened election night, I think, if I recall. I lost my mind. And I lost my mind on election night at around like 1, 2. I think I was like up to we were streaming till 3:30 a.m. on election night. I don't think I'm gonna go that long. I don't think I'm gonna do 3:30 a.m. tonight. Ian with a $5 super chat about 2 minutes ago. Here's a $5 to tell you we lost the sound. Tim Bob Dunn with a super chat. CIA coming after Matt. This is when the sound was off. Lori DeVargas says the black robes and black shields gonna have to come in the morning. Muting the truth, I guess. LOL. Jeffrey with the super chat. I've seen you wear the same choking victim leftover crack shirts I have on MR, so that's worth $5. Oh, thank you. What am I wearing today? Let me see. I don't even remember what shirt I put on today. Oh, all right. Let's. I'm wearing my old school. It's really faded too because it's a really old school. My old school NWO. My old school NWO shirt. Oh man, the lighting when I stood up really showcased all the dust, and dandruff that was on my shirt there. Joe with the super chat says showing off the easy mute feature on the new mic. Exactly. That's exactly what I was doing. That's exactly what I was doing. So so what I was saying was what I'm going to do with the super chat money. So people who long-time listeners will know that, again, youtube.com/Matt Binder if you're not currently subscribed, please. youtube.com/Matt Binder. You could also support this show by going to patreon.com/Matt Binder and helping me get to my current goal of I have to update the Patreon page, but the current goal is 200 patrons. That seems very doable. I know there are a lot of my contemporaries in with other shows who have much more patrons, and that's cool. I'm simply asking right now for 200 patrons. Get me there if you can. If you can afford to do so. If you cannot, please. Hard times with COVID and the pandemic, please. You could support me for free by just subscribing to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at Matt Binder or wherever. Instagram at Matt Binder. Twitch.tv/Matt Binder. doomedpod.com for the podcast. And obviously just tell people about the show and support me that way. And what was I going to say now? And what I'm going to do, because people have been asking me, longtime listeners have been asking me, Matt, we want you to do more Twitch stuff. We want you to play to play games and do Twitch stuff like all the cool kids are doing today. And so with a little bit of Christmas money and a little bit of patron money, there was a deal I came across on Slick Deals over the Christmas weeks where a refurbished gaming computer, yeah, that's right, I'm going with the used because that's how I roll here, always looking for a deal, but a good mid-tier gaming computer was about like $400. Usually brand new it goes for about $700. And so I jumped on the opportunity. And so all I need now is a monitor for it. I said I had two monitors. What I really have is I have my laptop and my MacBook in front of me. My computer in front of me that's used for everything. And then right next to me I have like this little portable screen that I'm basically using as a TV screen for my for the CNN feed so I can watch that in the corner. But I need like a monitor if I'm going to do that stuff. So I will be Twitch streaming very soon. You guys can watch me play Fortnite, I guess. That's what I've been playing recently. No, I didn't pay. Major Horgan says $700 for a new gaming computer. That's like mid-tier. Hey, it was getting good reviews, people. But I didn't pay $700. It was a refurbished for $400. So it was like a special deal going on. So I went for it. It's not refurbished by Slick Deals. It's refurbished by a legit company. I saw it on Slick Deals. Yeah, right. I'm not going to be playing like Cyberpunk, you guys. I'm going to be playing Fortnite for the most part and probably like Warcraft 3. You guys can watch me play Warcraft. That's my game, Warcraft 3. I haven't played in a while, though. I used to be addicted to Warcraft 3. Frozen Throne. I never was a World of Warcraft guy, but Warcraft 3, man, I could play it all day. If you guys get Warcraft 3, we could do teams. Oh, people are asking for components list. Okay. You guys gonna make fun of me, but it's, I'm on a budget here. What do you want from me? I'm not a big spender. If I need to upgrade down the line, if I get more patrons, if I get big on Twitch, then I'll upgrade down the line. But for right now, it's, I think people spend way too much when they get started on this stuff. If you need a big $1,500 gaming computer, you should be a hardcore gamer. You should be doing numbers on Twitch, in my opinion. Let me get you guys the details here if you're that interested. We're doing a gaming. All right, here we go. It is, you guys. It's a pre-made. It's a pre-built, I should say. So don't mock it too much. But it's pre-built, obviously. Listen, I got a deal. I told you guys. It's an HP Pavilion gaming computer. It's a Ryzen 5 3500 processor, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1650 Super video card. I got to upgrade the RAM. It's only 8 gigs of RAM, but I knew that. That's just whatever. Yeah, I mean, what I was reading is that for what was in this computer and the price it was on sale for, the components actually cost more than the built computer. So there you go. See, there we go. Not horrible, says Sir Sponge. Listen, if it was up to me, I'd be playing on my Xbox One. But from my looking into it, it seems like it would be much harder to set that up with my computer for Twitch streaming. And just getting a PC seemed to be the easiest route to go. I'm on a 2015 MacBook Pro right here, streaming with all this stuff that you see on the screen. So I mean, it does what it does, right? Skull Snull says you won't be able to run the most recent stuff, but there's a lot of indie games from ethical devs that will run just fine. Well, I was also reading that if I just lower the quality, a lot of stuff will run. Ramble Ron says you can build a better one for $400. Have you seen the prices of video cards now due to the pandemic? Everything you know about building your own computer is out the window right now. You cannot find some of this shit unless you get it in a pre-built, to be honest with you. And if you can find it to build your own, it's selling for a premium, so it actually ends up costing more. We got some super chats. Gotta read them. I can't believe you guys are shitting on my new PC that I bought. I haven't had a PC in like 20 years. It's literally close to 20 years, about 17, 18 years since I've had a PC. I'm probably going to max out the RAM. I think it could go 32 gigs in there. And I think that'll work everything out fine, to be honest. And eventually, my true, and you guys out there can tell me what you think about this if you'd like. My ideal setup after this is I get the new Mac Mini with the M1 chip that I hear is it's crazy fast. It's like with the 16 gigs, obviously. That's the top tiered one right now. And that's like what? I hear that's like $900. I'm not getting that right now, obviously. But the goal is when those drop down in price, I get that. And I run the stream on the Mac Mini because that's smooth, I hear. I hear that's going faster than some. It's running smoother and faster due to the M1 chip than some of these tricked out PCs. And I run the stream off the Mac Mini with the gaming feed from the PC going into the Mac Mini. It seems like that's the optimal way to possibly do that. So the PC is strictly focusing on the gaming. The Mac Mini strictly focusing on the streaming. And, that's the dream right there, I think. What do you guys think? You experts poo-pooing on my new PC? My new gaming computer? For the people who are knocking me wanting to buy the Mac Mini, here's the deal: the streaming software I use is actually a Mac software. I don't use whatchamacallit. OBS. I use Ecamm Live for Mac, and it's truly super simple to use. It's so slick, so much nicer than OBS. I've used OBS before. I've used OBS a lot before, but not on this show. I use Ecamm Live, which is so slick. OBS honestly seems like obviously you could do a bit more with OBS, but it's so ugly and the user interface is so sluggish and clunky compared to Ecamm Live. Oh yeah, there's an election going on, right? Uh, let's get a numbers update, right? The Georgia Senate runoff between Purdue and Ossoff is still about, it's a little bit closer. It's now like about 2,000 some odd votes between the two. That's where we're at right now. That's where we're at right now. Warnock has just honestly blasted ahead of Loeffler. It is over and done with between that race. What are they? 40, 50? No, wait, 35,000 votes? Yeah. 36,000 votes? That race is, yeah. I think that's over. I think I've said that 20 times already. That's over. Let me see. Someone said Wasserman just officially called it for Ossoff. Let's see. Let's take a look. Wow, he did call it 14 minutes ago while we were talking about my computer. I've seen enough. John Ossoff defeats Purdue. Wow. That's I don't know. I'm not I think that's what's going to happen, but I'm not going to call that cuz I don't know. I don't know. It's very close. And there's probably going to be a recount regardless. Damn, that chat is loading really slow, isn't it? On the feed here. Oh well. Sorry. I looked into Power PCs. Juan, who said I buy Power PCs, good prices. I looked into Power PCs. They're a bit pricey for what I was looking for. I needed a budget computer. Let's go back to the super chats. There was a few new super chats. Smiley says, haha, Matt, you are looking a bit confused. Am I? I'm trying to get to the super chats to load. Containment failure with a super chat. Sell me your stealth technology. Also, peace and love, everybody. What stealth technology? Oh, okay. Also, peace and love, everybody, says containment failure. Brooke with a super chat. $15 super chat. Wow, thank you, Brooke. A super chat for everyone who is not able to send one. I am sure they are all grateful as me. You are staying up to cover the race. Thank you, Brooke, and I'm sorry that you sent that literally right before I went into my my computer rant. Jacob with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Jacob. You should get the KFC console with built-in chicken warmer. Samantha Sider with another super chat. Here's to help you become a big-time Fortnite streamer. Peter Low Frequency with a $10 super chat. Do the soundproofing joke again. What soundproofing joke? I don't know what you're talking about. The soundproofing joke? I'm not sure what you're talking about. The soundproofing joke? What? The soundproofing joke? I'm trying to think. Soundproofing jokes. Okay, there you go. I did it. Brad says, Matt, with a super chat. Matt, you ever going on Trillbilly Workers Party? They've never invited me. If you want to reach out to them and ask them to have me on, I would love to go on Trillbilly Workers Party. Juan with a $5 super chat with no comment, just sharing the love. Thank you, Juan. Gimpy Gaming says, since I am quad, just my head tracking mouse and switches are over $1,500 and not considered necessity by Medicaid. Sigh. Being gimpy is expensive. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking honestly for a second. I thought because you're one of the main voices I saw knocking my gaming stream. I thought you were talking about like quad core processor or something. But I see. Jeez. Sorry about that, man. That sucks. That should 100% be considered a necessity by Medicaid. Do you have that stuff? The tracking mouse and switches that you need? I'm going to get rid of the chat here on the feed. I think it's slowing down the computer a bit. I think there's too many people chatting right now, which is good. I'd prefer that, but I'm just going to move that out of the way. Bye-bye, widget. A good take from Jennifer Medina says, Tartine me loves. Warnock, a win for the religious left, a group that tried mightily to assert itself as religious right consolidated power. I think that is a great point. And I think the left needs to actually focus on that. Listen, the religious left is good in that they are not the religious right. They're not the evangelical conservative right wingers. They're not the religious people who take the Bible literally, or who don't take Jesus' words at all as they are written in the Bible. Um, and and honestly, there are a lot of people in this country who are religious, or are of a religion, and Christianity is the main one. And I think it is a positive that there is a religious left. And if they could bring more people who feel like the left is lacking in sort of religious morality or whatever, then fine. Like, listen, my personal views are that I'm a non-believer. I'm of Jewish ethnicity. I have a Jewish dad, Catholic mom. I was raised Catholic while still taking part in the Jewish holidays somewhat, and understanding Judaism by my dad following the religion. And I was an altar server. A little bit of, I've said that before on the Majority Report back in the day, but I was an altar server. And as I got older, everything I learned, actually, it's good to learn about this stuff. It's good to learn about religion, even if you are not religious. Learn about Christianity, learn about Islam, learn about Judaism, learn about Hinduism, learn about everything you can to understand what other people believe. And I think it's good if you find something and it helps you. I think religion is great for community. If you use it for community, that's great. And if you believe, that's great too, as long as you don't force your beliefs on other people. I love it. If following the Bible or the Quran, if that's what helps you, then that's great. But for me personally, I'm driven by the idea that we are on this earth for a very short time. And I don't believe that there's anything after. I don't walk around shitting over people who believe there's something after, because let me tell you, I would love for there to be something after. I can't even say I would love to be proved wrong, because I'm just going by what I think. And if there is somewhere after, if there's an afterlife, if there's a heaven, I'm all for it. Let's do it. That's preferable to me, honestly. But I don't think there is. So I'm driven by the mantra. My morality is we are here on this earth for a short time. Could be you could die at birth. You can be a toddler, 10-year-old, 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, bless you if you can make it to that. But it's a short time, no matter when you pass on, relatively. And so I'm driven by the idea that we should just be good to each other, because time is short, and we should enjoy the life we have here on this earth for as long as we're here. And you should do what you can to make sure other people enjoy it too. Do I always live by that? Of course not. But that's my guiding light. So it is really good that Warnock is bringing about a religious left into the forefront here with his election to the Senate, which it looks like it's going to be. Did China win the election already? Says one of our right-wing trolls in the chat. Steve says heaven for eternity sounds like hell. But the idea of heaven is that everything's perfect, right? So if anyone's annoying you, they would not annoy you in heaven, right? We got more votes coming in here. We got more votes in here. What are we? 35,000 ahead for Raphael Warnock. And we are just 1,200 votes between Perdue and Ossoff. It is coming down to the wire here. It is really getting close here. Has anyone else called it for Ossoff yet? Let's see. Has anyone else called it for Ossoff yet? We are really close. Whoa. Madison on YouTube says Raffensperger said about 18 minutes ago, that's the Georgia Secretary of State, there were 200,000 votes left to count. That's looking good for Ossoff, let me tell you. That is looking really good for Ossoff. And I know Wasserman called it for Ossoff. But I'm waiting to see, because it's really close. Virtual tie is how CNN is describing Perdue, and Perdue and Ossoff. Excuse me, I got distracted by this. Let me play this for you guys. So this is what's happening right now in D.C. We have from Chad Loader on Twitter. Proud Boys in D.C. tonight have absolutely zero street experience because they're marching in the streets for the MAGA rally that's tomorrow. The Proud Boys in D.C. right now. They got no gear and no situational awareness of police tactics, says Chad. They keep walking into obvious kettles and getting maced and arrested by the cops. Let's play this video that Chad's got here. Let's see what's going on.
What the hell? Take care of our boys! Push through! We can't push through cement, so I can
They're my boys!
Bro, they dropped their knee on his fucking face. Ugly, dog. Get the hands up!
Proud Boys yelling at the cops. Blue Lives Matter, baby, right?
Oh, he just pulled the pin on his gas right now.
Come here! Come here! Come here with your fucking...
Oh, it's still going on.
Oh, yeah, you fuck off! You guys, we're not going anywhere!
Look at, they got that guy right there.
guys are a bunch of fucking pussies. Sergeant, come here, Sergeant. Push him through. Sergeant. Move. Push him through. Move back. Move back. Move. Move back. Move. Move back. Move back. Move. Move back. Move back. Put your hands on me. Oh, shit.
Well,
Give me some. Oh, shit. Hold on. Hold this. Hey, give me a shit. Over here.
that's that video. I mean, listen, maybe this will open some of their eyes, but it won't. To the police, but it won't. You know, these guys, and why is Blue Lives Matter trending on Twitter? Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Is it about this? Oh, yeah, it is about that. Yep. Oh, here's another video. Let's see this. Let's pull this up on the feed here. With the Proud Boys and the cops getting violent with each other. Let me pull this up here. All right, let's play this video.
This is American blood! Fucking American blood! This is American blood! Fucking American blood!
You know, here's what's... Oh, it's replaying now. Okay, here's what's incredible to me. Those Proud Boys, those Trump supporters are literally throwing fists at the police. And the cops are acting defensive. If this was a leftist protest, this was Antifa, if this was Black Lives Matter, they would be full-blown riot gear with shields and batons. They would be much more open to pepper spraying these people right in the face. They are, even with what's going on here, with Proud Boys confronting them with fists, they're being so defensive, so gentle with them. It's ridiculous how this is all, you know, it is. And listen, I'm not saying I want police brutality. I'm saying they should treat the leftist protesters the same way they treat the MAGA protesters. I'm not looking for the MAGA protesters to get the shit kicked out of them. Police brutality, in my opinion, is bad no matter what, even though I really don't care about the MAGA protesters, but I'm against police brutality. Ricky says, something tells me that Proud Boys weren't shown affection as children. Yeah. Something like that, right? Something like that, I'm sure. Who else is streaming right now? What are some other streams still kicking? Do you guys know? What other streamers that you like are still out there and up and running? Ezekiel Mordecai with a super chat, $10 super chat. Thank you, Ezekiel. Life is short. Party while you can. Absolutely, I agree wholeheartedly. Lori DeVargas with a $25 super chat. Thank you so much, Lori. Funny, I just said almost exactly that, exactly what you said to my best friend, who is very religious. And she keeps telling me, it's sad that I don't believe in God. I can't change how she feels, but I accept it and wish her peace. Thanks. Listen, I got nothing against people who believe in God, and I say good for them. I mean, I wish I could. I wish I could at this point in my life. Maybe when I get older, I'll once again believe. Who knows? You know, people go through all sorts of points in their life, but I have nothing against it. In fact, if that's what lets you do good in the world, if that's what moves you, if that's what gives you a sense of community, and you perform mutual aid with people who need help, who are in your religious groups and community, then I love it. Good for you. Please continue to do what you do. Go to church, go to temple, go to the mosques, go to if I live in a part of, you all know me, I live in Queens. I live in an area where there's churches of all sorts of different Christian denominations, Jewish temples, mosques, Hindu temples, Sikh temples, you name it, literally all within blocks of each other. I think it's great. So, you know, Kowalski with another super chat, giving me more coffee. Thank you, Kowalski. Man, I just want Ossoff to jump ahead here of Purdue, and then I think I'll call it a stream for tonight. We'll see. Let me see how much longer I can go. I'm up though. Maybe it's a bad idea to let you guys know who else is streaming right now, because then you'll leave me maybe. But Hassan is on Twitch. Obviously, Hassan is always on Twitch. There's no competing with Hassan. So that the fact you guys are here means the world to me. Progressive Voice is going on right now. I don't know about Progressive Voice. Are they any good? Left Reckoning, Matt Leck, and what's his face? Oh my God, I'm having a mental block. I'm so sorry. Leck and he'll get mad at me, I'm sure. Griscom. Thank you, myself. I didn't read a chat. That was me remembering. David Griscom. I will take calls. Someone asked me to. Tom says take some calls. Doomed Live. Call right now. I'll take your call. Whoever wants to call, I'll take your call right now. Doomed Live on Skype. Sign into Skype. Doomed Live. It's Doomed Live _1, I believe is the full. But if you type in Doomed Live, it'll show up. And call me. I will take the first caller who calls in right now. You will be on the air. You can even be on the video, too, if you turn on your camera. Champagne Sharks is going right now. Where? Are they all on YouTube? Where are these guys? Once again, patreon.com/Matt Binder to support the show. If you could afford to join the Patreon, that would be honestly great. But if you can't, that's totally understandable. I appreciate you just subscribing to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Matt Binder. And follow me on Twitter @Matt Binder, twitch.tv/Matt Binder. Search Matt Binder everywhere. You'll find me. People are begging me to do Discord. I really am no fan of Discord. But the problem is this software I use to stream, Ecamm, is like perfectly synced with Skype. It's like built right in. So that's why Skype is so great to use. And Skype should be easy for you guys to use too. I'll have to figure out getting Discord working with this app. Let's see what else is going on here. Is Warnock going to speak soon? I hope so. I'll stay up for Warnock if he's going to speak soon. Yeah, Hassan streams so much, man. I don't know how he does it. Truthfully, do not know how he streams that much. I mean, I got kids. I could never stream that much. And I got a full-time job, obviously. If enough of you join the Patreon, maybe I could make this my full-time job. And then I could stream hours every day and still spend time with the kids. But to do both, it's a bit hard. RM with a super chat asks, any New Year's resolutions? To build what I'm doing here. Oh wait, we got Warnock on the. Let me wait. I'll get back to my New Year's resolution in 1 second. Hold on. Let's get Warnock.
Who was a pastor, a veteran, and a small businessman. And my mother, who as a teenager growing up in Waycross, Georgia, used to pick somebody else's cotton. But the other day, because this is America, the 82-year-old hands that used to pick somebody else's cotton went to the polls and picked her youngest son to be a United States Senator. So I come before you tonight as a man who knows that the improbable journey that led me to this place in this historic moment in America could only happen here. We were told that we couldn't win this election. But tonight, we prove that with hope, hard work, and the people by our side, anything is possible. May my story be an inspiration to some young person who is trying to grasp and grab hold of the American dream. And so, Georgia, I am honored by the faith that you have shown in me. And I promise you this tonight. I am going to the Senate to work for all of Georgia. No matter who you cast your vote for in this election, in this moment in American history, Washington has a choice to make. In fact, all of us have a choice to make. Will we continue to divide, distract, and dishonor one another? Or will we love our neighbors as we love ourselves? Will we play political games while real people suffer? Or will we win righteous fights together, standing shoulder to shoulder, for the good of Georgia, for the good of our country? Will we seek to destroy one another as enemies, or heed the call towards the common good, building together what Dr. King called the beloved community? Here's what I know. I know that we can beat this pandemic with science and good old-fashioned common sense. I know we can rebuild a fairer economy by respecting the dignity of work and the workers who do it, an economy that honors those whom we now call essential workers by paying them an essential wage and providing for them essential benefits. And so to everyone out there struggling today, whether you voted for me or not, know this: I hear you, I see you, and every day I'm in the United States Senate, I will fight for you. I will fight for your family. To our supporters, our incredible campaign team, and to my family, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And to every Georgian who marched with us, organized with us, prayed for us, fought for us, believed in us, or shared their story and their pain with us, thank you for all of your love and support. In the words of Dr. King, who grew up just a few blocks from where I'm sitting right now, we are tied in a single garment of destiny. We are caught up in an inescapable network of mutuality. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. I remember my dad in this moment. He used to wake me up every morning at dawn. It was morning, but it was still dark. It's dark right now, but morning comes. And scripture tells us that weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Let us rise up, greet the morning, and meet the challenges of this moment. Together we can do the necessary work and win the future for all of our children. Thank you. God bless you, Georgia, and God bless these United States of America.
All right, there you have
Sounds
the
like
Reverend
victory speech
Warnock.
to me, right?
Well, let me turn the volume off here. It was a good speech. Good speech. Heartfelt speech. I just read, I think it was Hassan actually who tweeted out where is this? Raphael Warnock will be the 11th black senator in the entire history of the United States. 11th. I mean, that's, that's I think he's the only black senator to have been elected from in the South, the first. Aaron, did it look like I was asleep when I was looking down? No, I was looking at my phone. I was getting some while you guys were listening to that. I was both listening to that and getting some information from Twitter to see what was going on. We got some Trump tweets. Let's do this. Here we go. What's Trump have to say? Donald Trump, 30 minutes ago, said, just happened to have found another 4,000 ballots in Fulton County. Here we go. He also tweeted, he retweeted a Will Chamberlain tweet, which says, Republicans confirmed to Justice Barrett, which they had the clear, lawful right to do. And in response, Chuck Schumer said, everything is on the table now. If that's the case, why shouldn't Republican legislators go to the wall for the president? And Trump says, get smart, Republicans, fight. He wants to overturn the election results still. All right, guys, we're approaching 2.5 hours on this stream. It's almost 1 a.m. I was really hoping to do this stream until Ossoff took the lead, but that might not happen tonight. Let me get to RM's super chat again about any New Year's resolutions. Yeah, to build this stream, to build this show. I'd like to do more stuff. I'm already so far successful in doing in the first. We are now first 5 days. I'm not going to count the January 6th, because it's the next day already. We have I've done 2 streams in the first full week of this year so far. And there's probably going to be a third tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. Follow me on Twitter @MattBinder. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/MattBinder. And I'll let you guys know for sure if I'm doing a stream tomorrow. Likely, yes. All right, let me end this stream with one fun thing I wanted to play. I'll probably play it tomorrow too because it's so much fun, but I want to play it now because this is how I want to leave you guys today. The free piece says, Matt, do some networking with other left streamers on Twitch, like Surfs and Jack Saint. I was on their Among Us. I played Among Us with those guys a couple weeks ago on the Surf stream. I gotta get the Surfs on this show. And I know the Surfs have rated me on Twitch before. Thing is, I don't really have... I know some of you are in the Twitch room right now because I multi-stream. But I don't really... My audience... The audience I have isn't really on Twitch. I have very few followers on Twitch. You guys can fix that maybe. But, YouTube is where I have the most subscribers when it comes to a video platform. Nug Wrangler says, what about Pac-Man? I don't think Pac-Man wants anything to do with me. I don't think Pac-Man likes me very much because of a humorous thing I said a couple months ago on Majority Report that I didn't mean anything against him about, but he took it to heart. So I think that's it. I don't think he is a big fan of mine. Wrangler says, I'm sure he forgot about it. No, we emailed about it, and he wasn't too happy about me. I was actually a little bit shocked by his response to me, but that's okay. I honestly meant nothing. I don't agree with his politics fully, to be honest. Spill the drama, Matt says. No, you guys know about it. I've mentioned it on a show before. Probably for the patrons. It was the Michael Brooks Memorial Show when my friend Michael passed away. It was the show the day after. And I went on that show with the goal to make everyone as, not happy, but to make everyone feel as good as they could. Because that's what mattered to me. I was feeling like shit too, but I wanted to just remember the good times when I went on the show. And during my segment, reminiscing with Sam on the Majority Report, I joked about when I first met Michael. I mean, I knew Michael before anyone, if any of you guys knew Michael, except for Sam and Pac-Man, actually. And I made the joke about how I remember meeting Michael, and he was some nobody whose resume basically was... he was a contributor on the Pac-Man show. And I said... and I was like, who is this nerd? And then my words continued, and I said, and then I quickly learned that Michael was, hilarious and funny and super smart, and he belonged at the Majority Report, not the Pac-Man show. And it was totally like a joke. Like, obviously, it was like a truthful joke though, because Michael obviously did fit better with the humor of Sam and myself and how we, hosted Majority Report. Especially in the early days of David Pac-Man's show, where he was super a straight talking news guy. He's definitely become more of a personality in recent years, so that's different. But he really took it to heart, and I was surprised. So that was that. I mean, I honestly don't care. So like I reached out to him and I was like, yo, man, I don't know why. I don't, I said it as a joke. I don't know why you're taking it to heart. I hope I didn't offend you or hurt your feelings or anything. But, I hope he's dropped. If he's dropped it, I dropped it. I mean, like I said, there was nothing for me to drop. It was a funny comment I made. That's all. I don't agree with Pac-Man on a lot of things. People are spilling his more conservative. Listen, I think Pac-Man's got really bad international politics, horrible international politics, to be honest. He was flat out wrong about Bolivia. That's just my opinion, though. I think he's a decent guy, a good guy. I have nothing against him. I just don't agree with him on a lot of stuff, when it comes to international politics, at least. I think he's a good ally in terms of the broader left. I don't know if he's a leftist per se. He's like a progressive commentator. It's a little bit different than being a leftist, but he's an ally. He's not an enemy. He's definitely on my side. I would fight with Pac-Man, as in by his side, even though we have disagreements on a number of issues. But this show's not about Pac-Man, unless we want to talk about nice things. I saw Pac-Man on Majority Report earlier today, and I thought he was funny.